Whispers in room 319. It was a quiet night at St. Michael's Hospital, the kind where the only sound that pierced the stillness was the soft hum of fluorescent lights above. I had worked the late shift for years, and the rhythmic beeping of heart monitors, the clink of medicine vials, and the occasional distant shuffle of footsteps had become background noise. But tonight was different. Tonight, something felt off. Room 319, down the long, dimly lit corridor, had been unoccupied for days. It was supposed to be empty, yet every time I walked past, I felt the unmistakable weight of eyes on me. A chill ran down my spine, and I quickened my pace, eager to finish my rounds. But as I passed the door to room 319, I heard it, a soft whisper, almost too faint to catch. "Help me." I froze. My breath caught in my throat and my heartbeat quickened. No one had been admitted to 319 in over a week. The room was supposed to be empty. Was it just the wind? No. The hospital was far too quiet for that. I turned toward the door, the whisper still hanging in the air, like a breath I could almost touch. My hand trembled as I reached for the handle, uncertain but unable to walk away. Slowly, I pushed the door open. The room was dark, the only light coming from the hallway, casting long shadows that seemed to dance on the walls. Everything appeared to be in order. The bed was neatly made, the floor was clean, and the window was shut tight, blocking out the night's cold air. But there in the corner was the unmistakable shape of a figure sitting in the chair, facing the wall. I stepped forward, my voice barely a whisper. "Hello? Is someone there?" The figure didn't move. The silence stretched on, stretching the very air around me. My heart pounded in my chest, but my feet carried me forward, drawn to the figure. As I stepped closer, I noticed something. Its body was unnaturally still, its limbs rigid as if frozen in time. Then the whisper came again, this time louder and clearer. "Help me!" My blood ran cold. The voice was faint, almost a child's voice, but there was something else, something wrong. The air in the room grew heavier, pressing down on my chest. The figure in the chair slowly began to turn its head inch by inch until its eyes met mine. The face was pale, deathly pale. Its skin stretched thin, as if clinging desperately to bone. The eyes were wide and vacant, empty of life. But what made my stomach lurch wasn't the empty gaze. It was the smile, a twisted, grotesque smile that seemed to stretch too far, its edges curling unnaturally at the corners of the mouth. I stepped back, horrified, but the figure didn't stop. Its head tilted to one side as if trying to understand me. Its voice, now a raspy, strained whisper, spoke again. "You're not supposed to be here. Leave. Leave now." The temperature in the room plummeted, and the whisper turned into a growl, low and menacing. The lights flickered violently, and the air became thick with the scent of something decayed, something long forgotten. My instinct screamed at me to run, to flee, but my feet refused to move. The figure stood suddenly, its limbs jerking unnaturally as it moved toward me with a twisted grace, and then everything went black. When I woke, I was lying in a hospital bed, the sterile smell of antiseptic filling my nostrils. My head throbbed and my vision was blurry, but there was something I couldn't shake, the memory of those empty eyes. I tried to sit up, but a voice stopped me. "Don't get up yet. You were found unconscious outside room 319. Do you remember what happened?" It was Dr. Reynolds, the night shift physician. His voice was calm, but there was a strange tension in his eyes. I tried to speak, to explain what I had seen, but the words wouldn't come. The terror had clamped around my throat. "Room 319? Dr. Reynolds gave me a long look, and then his face softened, almost pitying. "Room 319 has been empty for years. There was an accident there. A patient died, but no one really talks about it." He paused, almost as if debating whether to say more. "Lily, there's something you need to know. That room, it's not just empty, it's cursed. I stared at him, heart pounding. The patient who died was a child, but before that he was strange. People would hear whispers, see things moving out of the corner of their eyes. But no one ever believed it until they found him. He was never supposed to die. I felt a cold sweat bead on my forehead, the whispers, the smile. He still waits in that room, trapped in that place, calling out for help. But it's not for help anymore. He wants something more. Dr. Reynolds' words faded into the background as I felt a sudden, overwhelming urge to look at the clock. 12:45 a.m. It was the same time I had heard the whispers, the same time when the room was still cursed, the same time when room 319 would call again. And it wasn't just the ghosts of the past who lingered. It was the one still waiting to be found.